Well, hello, my fellow plastic addicts and spooky nostalgia junkies. Welcome back to Jim O'Rear's Wacky World. If you're new here, congratulations, you've just stumbled upon the adult equivalent of playing with your toys in the dark while whispering, "This isn't weird." Today, we are diving into something extra nostalgic and just the right amount of creepy. NECA's, or NECA's, everyone seems to have a different idea of how it's pronounced, their Ben Cooper Sam figure from Trick or Treat. And let me tell you, this thing has more Halloween spirit than your neighbor who leaves the 12-foot skeleton out year-round and just puts different hats on it for the holidays. If you have been around here for a while, you might remember the video that I did about the launch of NECA's first series in this gloriously retro Ben Cooper figure line. If you don't remember it, well, shame on you. But also, no worries, YouTube has a replay button, and I have no shame about plugging myself. So go watch it. It was a journey through childhood trauma wrapped in vinyl and topped with a suffocation hazard. See, back in my day, and yes, I am obviously old enough to say that unironically, Ben Cooper costumes were the Halloween uniform. Every kid from the 1950s to the 1980s was rocking those plastic masks that made you sweat like a linebacker in July, and those vinyl smocks that looked kind of like your favorite superhero if your favorite superhero had a budget of $4 and a corporate sponsor. Ben Cooper was the company. Founded in 1937, they built an empire on thin plastic and thinner elastic bands that were called the Halston of Halloween and the High Priest of Spooky Fashion. Seriously, they made Halloween cheap and accessible before Spirit Halloween was even a glimmer in a bankrupt mall's eye. So, of course, when NECA announced they were releasing these figures inspired by the Ben Cooper look, I basically hurled my wallet at the screen. I needed them. All of them. Just take my money, take my soul. Just make them smell like vintage plastic and warm candy corn. NECA started off recreating Ben Cooper costumes, like Dracula, Frankenstein, the usual suspects. But then, they gave us Series 4. And that's where nostalgia met modern. NECA said, you know what this line needs? Modern horror icons that look like they came from a 1978 Kmart. And I said, yes, NECA, yes. Which brings us to today's gloriously pumpkin-spiced review. The Ben Cooper Sam. That's right, our favorite Halloween enforcer from Trick or Treat has officially been Ben Cooperized, and it is everything I never knew I needed. Let's talk about this little vinyl-clad demon. First up, the height. This figure stands about 6 inches tall, which in collector's terms means, yeah, it'll fit good on your shelf, but good luck getting it to balance without a stand. But that's okay, because Sam doesn't need height. He has presence. He's like the Danny DeVito of horror collectibles, small, slightly unhinged, and ready to kick you in the shins for not respecting Halloween. Next, the articulation. This fully posable action figure lets you recreate all your favorite Sam moments. Want him standing with his lollipop like he's about to stab someone who blew out a jack-o'-lantern too early? Done. Want him posed adorably with his pumpkin bucket like a very confused toddler at a demon cosplay convention? You got it. And let's talk about the soft goods clothing, which is NECA's polite way of saying, hey, we stitched some fabric together that looks like shiny vinyl from your childhood nightmares. And it works. It 100% works. It captures that weird texture those old costumes had, like you were wearing a tablecloth that might burst into flames if you even looked at a space heater. The nostalgia is real, folks. I swear. I swear that I could hear the crinkle of that plastic just unboxing him. But here's the real kicker. The interchangeable masks. That's right. For the first time in this line, NECA gave us 2 masks. Because what's better than one sweaty, face-melting plastic mask? 2. And you'll want the figure to wear the mask, because the face beneath the mask is nightmare fuel. You get Sam's classic burlap sack head, looking like a murdery baked potato, and you get a version with his little creepy pumpkin face peeking through. And both are gloriously retrofied to look like they came from a 1970s costume aisle that smelled vaguely of mildew and sadness. Now, accessories, because Sam doesn't travel light. He comes with a trick-or-treat pumpkin bucket, which is either adorable or terrifying, depending on your mood, and of course, his signature lollipop, sharpened to a point like he's ready to carve up anyone who gives out raisins. You know the one. That bite-marked sucker that looks like the kind of candy you'd never eat but also never throw away. It's a perfect touch. And the packaging. Oh, the sweet horror nostalgia of the packaging. NECA gives us a retro-style window box, complete with numbering for all you OCD collectors like me. It's designed to look like the original Ben Cooper costume boxes, which means, yes, it absolutely looks like something your mom would have hidden in the attic in 1976, right next to a broken light bright and a box of slightly cursed dolls. It's perfect. This thing is display ready, even if you're one of those monsters who doesn't open their figures. So, let's recap, shall we? We've got a 6-inch tall Sam, adorably creepy, fully posable for all your diabolical display needs, 2 gloriously tacky retro masks, soft goods that look like they time-traveled straight out of your childhood nightmares, a pumpkin bucket and murder lollipop combo, all wrapped in a vintage-style box that practically screams, "You've peaked as a collector." Honestly, NECA knocked it out of the cemetery with this one and their whole Ben Cooper line. If you love trick-or-treat, Halloween, Ben Cooper, or just the idea of watching your childhood trauma take on physical form in a 6-inch molded plastic figure, this is for you. Now, if you like this video, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more plastic insanity. And drop me a comment telling me your favorite Ben Cooper costume from back in the day. Were you a Spider-Man with the name literally written across your chest? A skeleton that looked suspiciously like it had a mustache? I want to know. So, thanks for hanging out with me in this spooky slice of nostalgia. And until next time, I'll see you on my channel.